Can you imagine an African country which is even worse than Zimbabwe, with their hyperinflation and racial problems? Well, if you can't, I can. And our today's guest is Eritrea, country which is even worse than the North Korea and Zimbabwe taken together. Ironically, it's one of the main Russian allies in the world, with 4 other countries: Belarus, North Korea, Nicaragua and Syria. But we will come back to that question later. So, what is Eritrea? Where is it located? Moreover, what the hell is this? So let's have a small review to put you in the action. Eritrea is a small African country, which is located right on the African Horn. At first, Eritrea was an Italian colony from 1880s till the end of the World War II. After that, in 1952, they have created a federation with Ethiopia, and everything was good until Ethiopian emperor just annexed the region and took all of their autonomy back. This caused a huge-scale civil war, which lasted for 30 years, from 1961 to 1991. Imagine that it started before the Caribbean Missile Crisis, and ended up when the Soviet Union was collapsing. That's insane if we take a look on it from that perspective. Of course, it caused a lot of deaths, destruction, from which country was recovering for the whole 1990s and 2000s. In 1993, country gained its independence, and since that time, ruling party as well as the ruling president haven't changed at all. And we've got a few reasons for that. So, this is Isaias Afwerki, the president of Eritrea, who is ruling the country for more than 30 years. His career started in 1971 in one of the main powers of conflict. He was one of the leaders of Eritrean People's Liberation Front. It was a Marxist organization whose main goal was gaining an independence for Eritrea. So when we saw the whole path of Afwerki to the power, we can truly say that his path to the power is similar to Daniel Ortega's way to the power in Nicaragua, which I told you in our previous video about Nicaragua. Go and check it too if you didn't see it. Link is left in the description, so just check it after watching this video. After ending up of the civil war, this Marxist party turned into the People's Front for Democracy and Justice. And their views didn't change at all, except that fact that now communists aren't so popular because Soviet Union collapsed. So they have rejected the communist ideas and now they are proud socialists. Oh, and yeah, don't forget that they are the only one allowed party in the state. In fact, in Eritrea, we see a typical one military dictatorship, which is going for 30 years, and it doesn't rule effective at all. But design of Eritrean coat of arms is really cool, I really like it. And our next and my favorite topic is economics. To begin with, their GDP is actually small. It's only $2.2 billion, but their economy showed pretty good results in 2010s. But then 2020 has happened, and since that time they've got growth like 2.5% in 2021 and 2.3% in 2022, which is kinda low for the developing countries, especially for countries like Eritrea. Their main export partner is Italy, which is kinda interesting due to the colonial past. And their main import partners are Saudi Arabia, Egypt, China, India and Russia. If we take a look on their export tree map, well, as usual in countries like this, we've got a low developed economy, which is focusing on exporting raw materials and low income products. But also, we can see that like 10% of their export is different types of electronic stuff, such as automatic data processing machines and other stuff. But seriously, have you ever seen Eritrean electronics? I didn't. And don't forget about ships. Yeah, they are exporting ships. Now you know about that. Also, they are in the list of top 10 countries with the lowest GDP per capita in the Africa. but at least it's more than $1,000, so that's way more than enough. And finally we have reached the most interesting part – inner policy. I won't exaggerate if I say that this country is hell worse than the North Korea. Okay, so in both countries men and women serve in the military. But in the North Korea, women serve in the army for 3 years and men for 10 years. Yeah, someone can say that it's too much. But if we take a fact that serving in Eritrean army is lifelong, after that North Korean experience feels different. With the population of 3.6 million and having no war conflicts, they have one of the biggest amount of refugees comparing to the amount of their population. Last year, 40,000 people left Eritrea, and even now more than 500,000 people are living outside of Eritrea as refugees, because they don't have option to immigrate in the legal way. And most of them are leaving Eritrea to escape serving in the military, which is in fact another form of slavery in Eritrea. Moreover, this country has a bad relationships with each of their neighbor. Well, with Ethiopia we understand the whole situation, but they have even spoiled their relationships with Djibouti, Sudan and Yemen. So no one likes Eritrea in the region. But that doesn't tell that no one loves Eritrea in the entire world. That was the best smooth transition to the foreign policy. So Eritrea is an isolated country. They don't really act good with the good part of the world. They just marked as the North Korea of Africa. But there is one country and one leader that really loves Eritrea and respects them. And our new guest is Vladimir Putin and Russian Federation. In the United Nations, it's one of a few countries who always supports Russia in all of their decisions. I don't know why, but they backed down on the resolution which criticized Russian annexation of 4 Ukrainian regions in October 22, but nevertheless, they were the only one African country which has supported Russian invasion in Ukraine when it happened. In 2023, Russia and Eritrea deepened their relationships. Russian delegation visited Eritrea in winter, and on 31st of May 2023, Vladimir Putin met with Isaias Afwerki. This meeting was dedicated to 30 years of their independence. So it seems that Eritrea has only one ally in the whole world, and ironically it's Russia. And their relationships I can describe as a friendship because of the misfortune. So does they have a chance for a normal existence? Well, I don't think so. Okay, if the current president passes away, nothing will change at all. Another guy from their party will take power and rule the country in the same way. And I don't think that they will betray Russia, because Russia gives money to them, invests in their economy, so they've got no reasons to move away from them. But the only one thing that I wish they wouldn't change in the future is their coat of arms, because it's perfect.